Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the HerStoryTV and the HerStory Podcast. This is Gertrude Matcha here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating lady. Welcome to our tribe. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea, and community. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people today. Welcome to the show, everybody. Now, please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, how old you are, and share your story with us today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Twila McGee. I'm 33 years old. I'm based in New Orleans, Louisiana. And I'm going to share with you all how my story started with NOLA's Finest Pet Care. In 2012, my spouse and I, we had went out of town and we had our cats. And we had a horrible experience with boarding them. And at the time, that was really the only option, was just either boarding them or having a neighbor or a friend come in and check in on them. So when we came back, had a horrible experience, and I sat down and thought to myself, there has got to be another way. Where pet parents aren't, trapped in their house or prisoner in their own home, and then immediately a light bulb went off, in-home pet care service. So I moved back after Katrina. I was living in Arkansas, and so that following year I moved back to New Orleans and I started the business and everything. And that's where it all got started. And actually, I'm New Orleans' first by Black in-home pet care service, and even then it was very few. I think there might have been like maybe 2 or 3 other businesses at the time, and now it's really taken off and booming with in-home, and it helps people, whether you're traveling, whether you're going to work, if you have senior pets, that can't just get in the car and travel and all of that. And so I'll come to your home and take care of your fur babies and everything. And then the pandemic happened. And so I got a little creative because with the lockdown, nobody was really traveling and people was working from home and whatnot. So I make gourmet human grade treats from scratch and I sell it on DoorDash. So fur kids have a healthier option for their treats. And I also do artwork that I created throughout the years and sell like pet dishes. I have something for pet parents too, like mugs and cutting boards and different products like that. And it's just really been an awesome experience. And I love taking care of pets. I feel like I'm their voice and I help the pet parents and educate them on how to properly take care of their fur babies, different techniques and things like that. Um, so it's just been a really, awesome experience, being able to do that. And especially, I guess as a Black woman too, because apparently there's not too many of us that, take care of pets, but I always grew up with pets. So it's just like, it comes natural to me and I enjoy it and I look forward to it. And I feel very blessed to have the opportunity to do something for a living that I really enjoy and I look forward to doing every day. And it's just really been a really great experience. And since I started in 2013, I've helped so many fur kids, so many pet parents, and it's just been really awesome. And I'm really looking forward to helping more, pets, anywhere I can with, pet parents, with educating them, making the treats and things like that. Soon I'm working on to launch actual food for them, have a healthier option as far as that as well, and more of a human grade option. So no more of this byproduct, foolishness. Um, so yeah, it's that's basically how everything started from 2013, and I just kept on with it. There's been challenges. Um, I started this business with nothing, just an idea. I was in my early 20s, so whatever was in my bank account at the time, that's how I got it started, and I just kept going with it. And so I hope that it inspires other people out there that no matter what's going on, even if you feel like you're not completely together, that you don't have all your ducks in the row, it is fine. Go ahead and do it. If that's what makes you happy and you're helping other people and you feel like that is your mission to do it, go ahead and do it, because everything else is going to fall into place. And I feel like that is my mission on what I'm here to do, is to help pet parents, to help fur babies, and give them that voice, because there are so many people where they're still learning how to properly take care of their pets. And what's so important is because how we take care of them is determines how long of a life that they have and how happy of a life that they have. And there is no pet parent out there that would purposely, do anything to put their pets in harm's way, or do anything to shorten their life. But that just goes to show you how important the education is, so that we don't make the mistakes, you know. So that is very important too. All down to like the littlest things, I teach people, what type of breed of dog is best for your household, things like that. Where we don't really think about, too much, but it's like all of that is really important. And so that's my mission. That's what I do. And I enjoy every second.
That is such an amazing journey you've been on.
Yes.
Absolutely fascinating. Now, when that young woman decided to go into business, how were you feeling? Were you fearful? What was it that made you break that fear barrier and just do it anyway?
Uh, Really just the pets, that really, give me that motivation, inspiring them, because with my own pets, when I had picked up my cats from that boarding facility, and just looking at the fear in their eyes, and how they were so terrified. And I'm like, I know that's the case for other fur babies. And when I started the business, I would get the same things from their parents, where they would tell me, thank God for you, because they had so many horrible stories as well. And it's like almost helping them, saving their lives, and helping them live longer, because that's the whole point of in-home pet care. It reduces stress. You reduce the stress, they have a longer, happier life.
Wow, that is just amazing.
Mhm.
So let's now just go back a few steps and the experiences that you had moving to New Orleans, the health challenges your husband have. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my spouse Chris, she's a brain aneurysm survivor, an amputee. And that was a difficult time, but we made it through. And what's so awesome about her is that she works full time and everything. But if I need her, she is always there, to help me, whether it's, with clients, with orders, whatever it may be. She'll find the time, make the time, and be like, okay, I'm here for you, and I'm going to help you out. whatever way she can. And that's just means the world to me. Um, but yeah, it also helped. We helped each other because during that time, the money that I was making from the business, it also helped support us because she decided that she was going to continue with her education. And so it gave me the flexibility to be her note taker until she got back in the swing of everything. And so after that, yeah, she got her bachelor's and she also went ahead and she earned her master's degree as well.
The two of you are absolutely inspiring. Absolutely inspiring. Now, being the first in any business, in any industry, is a challenge. What would you say was the biggest challenge you had as being the first Black owned pet business? I mean, that is just insane.
Yeah. Oh wow, where do I begin? Well, you have just being the first in general, because just having that education and just explaining to people on why they need the services and why is it so important, but that people catch on really quick, because they got so used to, well, boarding, or I can just get a family member, whatever the case might be, and then they have a bad experience and then they call me. As far as being the first, Black female, I will say as far as clients and everything, I mean, everybody has been very welcoming. I haven't had any issues. I will say that there is a disadvantage when it comes to awareness, when it comes to, getting capital, things like that. But I'm the type of person where it's like that's not gonna stop me, from what I need to do. This is my mission, and I'm gonna just keep going forward and let God take care of it, and everything else falls into place.
It seems to me that you fall on your faith a lot.
Yes.
It sounds
Yes.
like it's been a spirit-led journey, just knowing that the path is there and God's kind of guiding you to the right place. Now, were you affected by the COVID pandemic in any way? Did you have a brick and mortar business, or were you working from home?
Actually, no, and I feel like that was actually part of, God's plan and why I tried to really listen out, for let him lead and guide me. Because actually I wanted one. I wanted a brick and mortar and everything. And I felt like, well, maybe that would help, that would give more brand awareness. But then there's something in my spirit was like, no, you don't really need one, and it kind of worked out because I don't have to deal with that overhead and whatnot. But once the pandemic hit, that really put it into perspective. And I was like, yes, I did not need that. I didn't need to deal with that struggle. So, I'm grateful for that. But yes, it did affect me in the sense that, yes, during that time, people wasn't traveling, as much, or especially not at all during the lockdown. But I learned how to pivot, because you can't keep me down. So that's when I decided, oh, this is a great time to roll out my gourmet treats that I sell on DoorDash. I've been wanting it to do before, but I did not have the time, especially since it was like the only option was really going to different festivals and stuff. And that was fun. It was just really time consuming. But once the pandemic happened, everything was delivery apps, DoorDash, Uber Eats, things like that. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just see what happens, because everybody was like, well, that's mainly for like people food. And I was like, that's okay. I'm gonna let them tell me that. So that worked out.
You are absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Tell us about the gourmet treats that you have designed so people get to know.
Yeah, so as far as the gourmet treats, they are human grade, and what that means is that I use pet friendly people food. So it's food that you and I eat, but they can also eat it as well, and it's very healthy for them because unlike the stuff that's in the stores, there's no sugar, there's no salt, there's nothing harmful for them. So once again, this is something else that reduces um just anything that will shorten their lifespan, so everything that I do is to help, you know um lengthen their lifespan, make sure that they live in their best life, that they're happy and everything. So I have different flavors. Because during the summertime it gets really hot in New Orleans, so I have popsicles. Okay, and I'll use, fresh fruits and veggies and things like that. And that's on DoorDash. And so if you're in New Orleans or you happen to visit New Orleans, get on the DoorDash app and, order your fur baby some treats. As far as my products, I ship that anywhere in the US, and I use my artwork. I'm an artist as well. So I paint and scratch and I'll sketch, and a lot of my artwork is New Orleans inspired. So all of that is on, different things for your pet, like pet bowls and the mats and everything. I have stuff for, the pet parents too, the mugs for my coffee drinkers and tea drinkers, cutting boards. It's all on the website.
I love the way that you combine all of the aspects of yourself into this business. Your art sounds like it's a very big part of what you do. And so
Hmm.
you manage to intertwine and infuse the two in a very unique way. So if I was to say time is an illusion and your past, your present exist in the same time, and I could take you back to the past, to that
Hmm.
young woman who had an idea, wanted to start a business. Based on what life has taught you, if you could give her three nuggets of wisdom, what would that be?
Well, one, don't try to do everything on your own. Especially when you're starting a business, seeking a business advisor, okay? Because you're gonna need help with things, and just reach out. So actually, I'm very grateful for the Urban League of Louisiana. That's my business advisors, and they're very helpful with everything, and they keep me from making costly decisions. And so that's one. Two, I would say, get a really good web designer, to make your website. And I was fortunate enough to have that. One of my former clients was a web designer, Melissa. I am so thankful to her, because she really designed my website. She designed my logo, so nobody else could be confused with any other pet business. And then also, I would say the naysayers. There's always going to be people that's going to feel like, oh, why you want to do this? Don't do that. Just go ahead and, just get a 9 to 5 or whatever the case might be. You know, it's just their opinion. And I know a lot of people, they do that because they try to be helpful. But when it's something where it's your mission, you have to see it through. So no matter how hard it gets, that struggle might get, the whatever doubts you have to keep moving forward, because this is your purpose and this is what you're meant to do.
I love it. Yeah, sometimes it's difficult to cut out the noise.
Right.
And people mean well
Right.
sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's their own fears that they project onto you and
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. And there's something that really, to tell you the truth, even when I was a kid, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I think that came from because my grandmother was an entrepreneur. She had a very successful catering business. And I
so you
admire her for that.
doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So you had a role model, you saw her
Yes.
do, you saw her in action.
Yes, and I admire her for that because I feel like for her time, that was huge. Okay, to be a woman and to strike out and have your own business, that was huge. And she kept going, she wasn't listening to the naysayers, And so I always thought that was awesome. And so that was part of my inspiration as well, So yeah.
It's just amazing what our grandmothers can do for us. I have a similar story. My grandmother was a potter. She used
Okay.
pottery without a wheel, just the most perfect pots.
Hmm.
And I get that part of her in my art. So I paint fabric. I'm a textile
Oh,
artist.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
so I can so relate. So now let me take you into the future. You're now 100 years old. You're sitting in your rocking chair, surrounded by your pets, babies, and you're reflecting back on your life. If you could have a conversation with the future you, based on how you're living your life right now, what would you say to her?
I would say, like, one thing for sure, we're like, well, you have no regrets. I mean, you are living the life that you wanted to, helping fur babies. And that's really, a huge thing. And so I would just, be like, you know, good job for that. Keep it going, and there's gonna be some tough times, but you keep it going because it's still at the end of the day, it's gonna be Gucci, it's gonna be good and everything. And, I would hope that whether, my children, grandchildren, whatever the future has for me, I hope that I could be an inspiration to them or, anybody else out there that's watching that or whatever, to inspire them to do what you love, and don't be afraid of the naysayers or your own doubts or your own fears.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Now, is there anything I should have asked you that I left out?
Um, well, I do have with the treats, I do have the official taste tester is our dog, Arabella. We call her Bella. She's a rescue, and I had the pleasure to foster her mom and all of her siblings. There was five of them all together right before the pandemic, and once we nursed them back to health and everything, we worked with a foster group here to make sure they found really good forever homes for the mama dog that I named Britannia and all of her siblings, but I kept Bella. So she's our official treat tester. So she makes sure everything is tail wagging good before it rolls out.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for coming online and inspiring us with your story today.
It's
Good
been a
luck with this
pleasure.
business. Good luck. I can so see this going global, not just the United States.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we'll bring you to New Zealand for our reality TV shows. I'll talk about that with you in a minute. But
Okay.
in the meantime, thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Our movement is attracting some fascinating and dynamic women who are movers and shakers, not afraid to go after their dreams. And you are really an example of that. Thank you for what you're doing to shine the light for others to follow. And thank you to everybody who's tuned in today. I will be back again tomorrow with yet another amazing guest. Have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And bye for now. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.